Hello one and all, and welcome to yet another video on this channel. Today we're going to be doing a 100% race last to question mark challenge around the Austrian Grand Prix circuit. It's going to be an exciting one there. We're going to try and come from the back in the Mercedes as Lewis Hamilton in a 100% race. Can we win it from last on the grid? We're going to find out very shortly. So without further ado, let's get into it. So here we are then at the Red Bull Ring, and we are ready to go racing very shortly then. We've got 71 laps and 19 drivers ahead of us there to try and get towards the race victory there. That's what we're going to be chasing as we are in Hamilton's car, so we've got to try and live up to that there. So, looking ahead of the race, we're setting our strategy, setting our fuel load, setting our setups, getting ready there, making sure everything is prepped, everything is in top condition so we can get to work on this race. So, I think it is time. Here we go then. 71 laps ahead of us there, spotting out the field from the back. 5 lights! And we're away. We do not get a good start at all then there. We get left actually off the line, so we're going to spot out the field there. Look at where they're all moving towards turn 1. Go late on the brakes down the inside of George Russell alongside Kevin Magnussen as well. So we're 3 wide at the rear of the field coming out of the first corner there. We're getting pinched right to the white line there, and we've got to be careful there not to get spun right. We had to take a brief trip into the grass there as though we're going to look down the inside yet again, pick up spots on the brakes there. We're alongside Danny Kvyat then, so make good ground going into that braking zone for turn 3, but out of that corner there Kvyat gets much better traction as we were pinched onto the outside curb with less traction to work with there. But we're going to try and go again. Going to brake late down the inside of the AlphaTauri there, hook it tight on the curb, get better run out the corner there with traction, and we are through up into 13th place. We've got to make the most of this start, and it has been a good one. They're up 7 places on this opening lap, so we're going to try and take that, use it as momentum and push forward there. But of course we've got to try and get settled into the race now as it's beginning to ease down. So we're sitting up behind Kimi Raikkonen, and we've got to spot out our overtaking opportunities on the Alfa Romeo there. We close up, we've got much more downforce of course in this Mercedes there. We've got to use that to good effect. Overtake straight away out the last corner. We pull alongside and cruise past Kimi on the main straight up into 12th at the end of the first lap. A very positive start to this Austrian Grand Prix, but we still have 70 laps ahead of us, so we better get to work. Lance Stroll is the next driver up the road for us to be challenging there, but we're not quite close enough going into that hairpin. We do get very close to this rear end though, and looking for a better exit out of the corner. We do get a pretty good one there, and we're tucked in under the slipstream with DRS, but that racing point is still pretty slippery in a straight line. We're going to pick up that toe, look towards the outside, brake very late into turn 4 there, try and get a nose in front. Big lock up from us, so we're going to run wide onto the curb, so the overtake is unsuccessful, but we're still chasing him down towards turn 6, and he defends the inside line there, so we're going to try and swoop around the outside, but run out of room on the curb of the corner there on the outside, and we do have to settle back in behind, but we're not going to stay there for very long. We've got to make quick progress there, clearing this midfield, so we go back alongside Lance towards the penultimate corner on the lap and through up into 11th place then. So continuing our quick climb up the field, and we make up 2 spots on that second lap. Next up is Lando Norris in the McLaren, which thankfully for us isn't quite as slippery in a straight line, and now DRS is with us as well, so we can use that to our advantage as well as overtake. We've got to be quite conservative with us though. We don't want to be running out, as we'll run out of steam later on, but we're going to go for a big dive down the inside of Lando there, getting that stopped on the curb of turn 4 and getting a better run out the corner. So we sweep down the inside of 5 and up into the top 10, 2.5 laps in. A very positive start, and we've got to try and keep this momentum going, and we're going to do that by challenging Carlos Sainz there. He goes a little bit defensive, but we're going to do another big dive down the inside and almost running into the rear end of Daniel Ricciardo, but we're able to just about keep that one on the island and still in 9th place, lap 5 now, so we're making progress still very quickly there, and it's Esteban Ocon. You can see he's leading this midfield pack, and we're making our way through it very quickly underneath the rear wing now of Ricciardo. Going to pull to the inside again. It's becoming a happy hunting ground for us in this race, and we're looking down the inside again, going to squeeze him onto the curb on the outside as he's still hanging on in there, but eventually we are able to clear the Renault, and now on the next lap they're chasing down Sergio Perez, who is just in front of us. We've still got some overtake to use, to deploy, and to try and launch us forward at Sergio, but he's closing down on Ocon. He's going to go to the outside towards turn 3, so he's searching for that overtake there, and we're looking to try and pick our spot nicely there so Ocon doesn't get a great drive off the corner. We're using amazing overtake. DRS, Rich, everything to maximise our straight line speed, and we cruise right outside of Ocon. Have a little look at Perez, but we're not quite there, but we're almost already through this midfield, still very early on in the race, so it's looking good for us there. We've just got to try and keep that momentum going. Now heading on to lap 7, and we've just got to try and settle in now. There, the guys up ahead have pulled out a gap of a few seconds, so we've got to try and get on with it there, using the last of our overtake to complete the final manoeuvre in the early phase of the race down the inside of Sergio Perez, and we get the move done. But of course we're at the mercy of now a DRS repassing. We cannot afford to lose more time in this pack, so Perez gets a good run at us, but we're going to cover to the inside and try and keep him at bay there, keep him off of us there. We go second gear, third gear to get off the corner, and we are through into 6th place, so we're going to try and keep moving forward there, pray it on, and we can chase big results in this race now. But of course now it's time to just try and get settled in, so we're going to skip ahead to lap 11. So far I've just been kind of managing myself, not pushing too hard, a good consistent pace, and it's actually led me to continue to close down the gap on the cars ahead. It's a train of 4 cars with Bottas is a couple of seconds further out in front, so he's looking good for him out of stage, our teammate, and we got to try and chase him down. Of course, a couple of laps later we are just outside that DRS. We're making very positive gains and making very consistent time on these guys, so now we just got to try and push then. I've got a lot of overtake to use now that I've saved up over the last few laps, and we're going to use it now because we've got to try and get in that DRS. So if we can do that, we just get a little piggyback onto this leading group, and that's going to help do us a world of good in this race. We're very late into the hairpin just to secure it, and we have DRS, so that has really cemented our place now amongst the leading group, and we're going to try and use that to our advantage. But we burned off quite a lot of fuel and used quite a lot of ERS, so we're just going to chill out a little bit now at this back of this pack there, saving up our resources. So on to lap 17 now, and we're now with a bit more overtake in the tank and a bit more fuel to burn as well. We may try and search for potential opportunities there. So going into this hairpin now, we're much bit later on the brakes compared to Charles Leclerc, and how is the exit? It's still pretty good, so we may have a little bit of a shot at trying to grab 5th place off the Ferrari there. We're tucked in over the rear wing. He's going to defend the inside line there, but there's still a gap there, but he brakes very late and locking up and just about stays ahead, so it's an unsuccessful overtake on Charles Leclerc there. We're not quite able to get through, as now on to lap 19 there. A couple of laps later, we're still chilling out. Charles is going to come in early here, a few laps earlier than what I was planning to do, so he is going to go into the pits and possibly searching for that undercut there. So interesting strategy call by Ferrari. We'll see if that one pays off, but now we're through up into 5th place now. We're going to see if we can hold on to the back of this pack. The pace has been pretty easy, and his teammate there, Sebastian Vettel, who was leading the train, also comes into the pit lane there, so he's going to wave by the Red Bulls, and yeah, the Ferraris with early pit stops is going to make things very interesting in this middle phase of the Grand Prix. I'm watching Albon there, and he's struggling now to hold on to the back of Verstappen. Loses DRS, and we've got to capitalise on that straight away. Blast past him with DRS, and we are through. We get within the range of Max Verstappen as well, so we've timed that pretty nicely. Up into 3rd place there, we run wide through the hairpin, but we've got that drag reduction system to help us out down the main straight. And lap 23, planning to pit, but Bottas comes in ahead of us, and we have to dart out last minute, so we have to settle for another lap, and that's cost us some time. So we've got to try and get that overtake flowing, get back to Max Verstappen there. So it's a little bit awkward for us there. We've lost some time. We've got to try and get ourselves back into it there. It's just myself and Max staying out of the league there, group there. Albon's in as well, of course. Both the Ferraris run a little bit earlier. So now at the end of the lap there, both myself and Max Verstappen go into the pit lane. 24 laps into the race. The strategy is a 2-stop, soft, medium. That's what we're going to be going for at the moment. There's another set of softs will be going on the cards. A little bit of a battle of the pit crews there. It's an alright stop for us, but Red Bull have done a decent job as well, and they get Max out just in front of me, so we're going to have to settle in behind the young Dutchman for now, and we'll see of course where the Ferraris are going to end up there. Bottas is ahead of us. Both the Ferraris go past now, and where we're going to come out relative to Alexander Albon there he is. We're almost side by side, and he's actually got his nose ahead, so we cannot be having any of that. We're tucked in underneath his rear wing. Look towards the inside, towards the hairpin there, but he does brake very late. We still keep our nose in on the inside. Can we get traction out of the corner? No, he gets a better run than we do there, but we are tucked in yet again. and seeing if he's going to open up that inside line. And there we go, we've found the inside, going in a turn 4 there, braking very late as well, roll it down the inside, hooking on the curb yet again, but he is still right alongside us there, round the outside of 5 and down the inside of 6. We got to try and cement this now, round the outside of Alexander Albon, and we are through up into 5th place then. So we have managed to force our way through and get ahead of the young Red Bull driver there. So now into lap 27. We're still chilling in the DRS zone as well of the guys ahead. So we're just going to try and search for our moves there. Just keeping it nice and clean. Doing the same thing as we were doing earlier. Saving fuel, saving the ERS, and using it for attacks later on in the race. But we do get quite close to Max Verstappen. So we are making opportunities for ourselves, but we're not going too aggressive. There's the status quo. It's Vettel ahead of Leclerc, ahead of Verstappen, ahead of me, ahead of Albon. That's what we're looking like in this train right now. And on to lap 32, we got a very good run on Verstappen there, looking towards the inside, braking very, very late, trying to get that slowed down, and we just about managed to get it round the corner, but Verstappen gets a very good drive out of turn 4, but we're going to get back alongside towards turn 6 there. It's going to be right inside again there, try and pinch him onto the inside line, but this time Max Verstappen further alongside, squeezes onto the curb, but we pinch him tight into turn 7, and round the outside we secure that 4th place there after a hard fought fight with the Red Bull driver there, and we are through. Finally cleared those bulls, and now we're going to move forward there. We've got our first taste now of back marker traffic on lap 35 of this race there. You can see that is the Williams of Nicholas Latifi, and it's going to get a little bit awkward for us there. We have to go round the outside of that hairpin, and we do get up into 4th place there. It just costs us a little bit of time, but we're still hanging in there with the Ferraris, and we can present opportunities at any moment there. We see we get quite close to Leclerc, get a very nice run off of the hairpin. We use that overtake as we've got it to deploy, but Charlotte's pretty quick down that straight as well. We're going to try and close it down, but we don't fully commit on the brakes. We've got to try and be a little bit more brave with our manoeuvres if we want to be clearing these Ferraris. Now on 38 again, the Ferrari stopped very early there. We sweep around the outside of Charles Leclerc, and now that's given us an opportunity to chase down Sebastian Vettel, but there's no run through the hairpin there. He does brake pretty late in defence, but that does compromise his exit there. We have DRS again, overtake, Rich, all the straight line speed is in our favour, and we cruise past Sebastian Vettel on the straight into P2 now, 4 seconds behind Valtteri Bottas, so it's looking pretty nice for us, and we finally have a little bit of clean air, so we're just going to try and chase down our teammate now. Pushing, and the gap down to 2.1. So we're really starting to stretch our legs on this lap now. Both the Ferraris are now into the pit stand, so Leclerc may come out in front of us, but we are still looking very good on pace then, making the gains. And we're going to pit a lap earlier than scheduled, just so Bottas doesn't get in our way. We're going to come in here on lap 44 then, matching Lewis Hamilton's racing number. And yeah, we come in there, get it all slowed down for the pit lane just about. And yet, pit crew runs out. You're going to service me nicely there. And of course, we need a good stop. It's still going to be tight on that pit exit there. 2.9 seconds. And we are on our way. Medium tyres for the final stint. And we're going to come out very close to another car there. You can see that's Kevin Magnussen there, a back marker. So we can clear him nice and easy, thankfully for us. But you see, we're a few seconds behind these Ferraris. But it's not a massive deal. We can just try and hang on to them there. They're on softs, which does mean they're going to have to pit again. So we can gain out of that. There's a couple laps later. Bottas is in the pits, and we are going to jump him easily with a big undercut. So we may well be in the net lead of this race, as the Ferraris still have to pit. We're waiting on Verstappen to pit for the final time as well. But it is looking very strong. We've got 2.5 seconds on our teammate Valtteri Bottas, and we just need to hold this out for the remaining 25 laps in this Austrian Grand Prix. And the win, will it be ours from last on the grid? But we've got to try and see it through. Bottas is charging that gap now just over a second, so we got to put in a little bit of an injection of pace. They're going to take us round now for a lap as we've saved up our overtake, saved up our fuel, and now we're going to use as much of it as we can there. So overtake down towards turn 1 there, use the curb to turn it in, clip the curb on the inside and on the outside, overtake again out of turn 1 there, trying to get the most out of it. The gap already beginning to extend behind us there, which is what we want to see going down towards turn 3, using that curb to slow us down there, open up the corner. We do lock up a little bit though, runners a bit wide, but we're going to push for traction on the exit, and again overtake from turn 3 down to turn 4 there, switch it back off again just before the braking zone, on the curb again to open up turn 4, clip the curb on the inside, clip the curb on the outside, on the power yet again as we take us around the remainder of the lap there. Flat turn 5 and entry into turn 6. Gonna run it out onto the outside curve, use as much of the track as possible through 7, get close to that inside curve, run onto the outside curve, opening up, overtake again, going down towards turn 9. As you can see, we do have yellows up ahead then. And who is that going to be then? You can see a car going slowly a little bit further ahead, and that is Charles Leclerc. So he is backed out. He is no longer in the race as we do a huge lap of 5.7, and that extends our gap over 2 seconds to Bottas now. So we just got to try and see that through. Vettel still to pit, and Leclerc completely out the way. Vettel comes in at the end of lap 58 as we've got about a second still in hand over Bottas, and now it's time with Vettel in. We're going to put in a bit of an injection of pace yet again there. Going to use that overtake using the remainder of our fuel, the rest of our reserves, and try and get that gap out. Try and secure this race now as we're getting in to the dying moments now. It's time to really turn it on and try and put it to bed then. So a couple laps later, when the gap now has extended nearly 4 seconds to Valtteri Bottas. So we just got to try and hang on in there then, as we have just 9 laps to go in this Austrian Grand Prix. The gap 4 seconds. We just got to try and bring it home. But on the penultimate lap now, Bottas is charging there. He's making a bit of a desperate late bid to try and snatch this race win from us. So we just have to bring it home then. 1 lap to go here in Austria, and we've just got to keep that 1.4 second gap. He is going to be giving everything, and we just have to keep it clean, keep it on the track. The overtaking opportunities are too early in the lap for him to be able to attack us early. We're using the overtake there. Again, last of our reserves to pull out on the back straight then. I'm going to brake on that curb again, using as much of the track as I can. But again, we won wide going through that hairpin. We've got 2 racing points in front of us as well that could pose an issue on this last lap. So we've just got to try and watch ourselves. We started last in our 100% race, and we have fought our way through, all the way through the field, past 19 drivers, and we just had to hang on for half a lap more. The gap to Bottas now under a second. He's really pushing there. He's going to snatch that fastest lap away from me, I think. But we're not going to care about that. We just got to keep pushing. Out of turn 8 now. Again, we got some overtake to deploy. We got it in our pocket, but he's just 6/10s now. We just need to hang on. No mistakes around these last 2 corners. Nice and clean. Hit the apex. Run it out an exit. And we're going to take the race win in this 100% race. Last to question mark challenge. We come out on top in a thrilling race against our teammate then. That was a load of fun for me to drive, and a load of fun I hope for you to watch as well. We get driver of the day, of course, and that is going to round up our 100% race. From last on the grid, we have came through and we have snatched the win away from the hands of the rest of the drivers. So that is going to wrap things up, I think, then, after a thrilling race. Hopefully you've all enjoyed that. If you did, please like the video, and yeah, if you want to see more content from me, then you can feel free to subscribe as well. So I guess without much more to say, I've been Zaka, and until next time, we'll see you later.